Good morning, this is Robin Bieber on the product spread talk on the 17th of July at 7:50 in the morning London time. As a general overview, gas oil structure looks a little bit inconclusive, and I'm expecting heating oil and RBOB structure to test support today and try and edge a little bit lower. The first structure we'll look at is gas oil, and this is an AUG chart. Did pretty well, recovering from the 5-day moving average yesterday, and it's now in and around and testing the range resistance at -2.25. It could easily head up to around the -150 level. It must not close below the 5-day moving average between -275 and -3, otherwise it'll dip lower again. It's ebbing and flowing either side of the short-term moving averages without really a conclusive direction, but it doesn't look bad at the moment. And if we look at the SpreadTalk, it's holding the short-term moving averages. It must not close below -8.25, otherwise we're sliding down probably to -950. There's no upside unless we can punch above -675. It's stuck, locked in the embrace of the short-term moving averages with no clear direction yet. But were it to push a bit higher and hold over, say -750, I think there's a reasonable chance the stochastic would turn positive and we might just edge a little bit higher. The red deck really needs to get over the 21-day at -27.5 to get some upside. It's below the 5-day at around 29.25 at the moment, and whilst below here could easily head down to around -31, the 34-day moving average. It's stuck moving sideways over the last 4 or 5 days with no clear direction. Wait for the breaks, they're going to happen, but right now whilst it's between the 21-day and the 34-day, no clear conclusive direction. Now moving on to heating oil structure. The AUG heating oil is printing around -138. It's right in amongst the short-term moving averages between 135 and 133 area. It needs to break up above, say, 130 to give it some upside to around about the -100 level. Equally a failure, and it's beginning to look like it's failure, it would take it down to around about -159, 160 area, and only a move and close below 160 would give it some more serious downside potential. The stochastic is negative, it's struggling a little bit. Now the SpreadTalk is equally struggling. If it's below -424, look for a move to -459. It's got a negative stochastic. It looks like it's going to be under pressure today, and that pressure would only be relieved by a move and close over 384, which to be honest doesn't look likely at the moment. It looks like it's going to come under more pressure. The red deck, not that liquid at the moment on heating oil. It's going sideways. It really needs to move over the -1025 level to give it a target to -848. That doesn't look likely at the moment. More likely is tests of the 34-day moving average around about 1114 and the range support around -1135. Only a move and close below -1135 would give it target south. Only a move and close over 1025 would give it some impetus north. It's stuck in a range here looking for direction but under pressure to the downside. Now moving on to RBOB, the AUG is okay whilst it's over the 21-day at 163. It needs to get over 214 area, the 5 and 8-day moving averages, to give it some upside. At the moment it looks a little bit pressured, and were it to close over 163, it would acquire more downside for about 40-50 cents down to 112. The negative stochastic I think is going to work not in its favour, and it should push south. The SpreadTalk has held the 55-day pretty well at 10.06. There's no further downside whilst at this level holds. A move and close below there would take us down to this low, which is around about 825. It looks like it could come under more pressure. It's got a negative stochastic. This pressure would only be relieved by moving over the 34-day at 1119. Meanwhile, it looks like it's under pressure. Watch this 10.06 level very carefully. It's a key support. And red deck on RBOB, struggling. It looks like it could easily head lower to this low here, which is around -400, and a failure there would that -400 is consistent with the 55-day moving average. It's under pressure whilst it's below the 34-day moving average at 274, and it has no upside whilst it's below -215. So there's There's some downside developing here whilst it's below minus 274, the 34-day moving average, and it looks like it's struggling a little bit. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.